So my name is Regita Zeila, and I represent the Social Entrepreneurship Association of Latvia, which has been created in 2015 to develop social entrepreneurship for long-term change in Latvia. And I joined the organization in 2017 as a volunteer, and now I have been leading the organization for the last 4 years.
And have you ever worked on a digitalization project or in a tool implementation project? And if so, what have you learned from this?
So regarding the digitalization projects, I would say that yes and no. So in terms of our organization, we have been involved in like being more present in digital spaces. Like for example, recreating our website or increasing our digital visibility. So that has been the most closest project I would call to the sphere of digitalization,
Mhm.
because of course like for our organization that is the main space, and of course for us it's very important to be visible on also online, and for us we have been involved there, and actually now we have started a new collaboration where we will improve and increase the accessibility of our website so that it would be accessible for everyone, and like following the accessibility guidelines, and so that everybody could be using the information that we have on our website.
That's amazing. And was there any key learnings from this process of obviously putting your organization online? And did you felt any impact on on your organization and its structure?
Yes. So actually this like we have had our website like since we have been created. So of course in the beginning in 2015 it was kind of a bit basic, and then we understood quickly that we need some improvements, and I think it was in 2020 that we got a small capacity building grant from Active Citizens Fund here in Latvia, and what we wanted to do is to make our website better and more beautiful and nicely created and designed. And in that phase, what we learned is that already then the digital appearance was very important, and we see that since then our website traffic has increased
Oh,
very much,
that's
and also our like social media accounts, and like they are increasingly growing, and that's why we see that it has been a very important step in being just like present, but also like looking good, so that we would also be recognized, and we would be following the same visuals, the same appearance, and for us it has been also about creating our image and improving how we are seen, having the same like visuals all over, having the same branding, having the same voice in our communication, and that's why we see that also we are associated with the topic. So for example, when you Google anything about social entrepreneurship, you get directly to our
yes, yes.
website and stuff like that. So all over that has been a very strong learning that you need to be visible, and you need to have also this like professional appearance that is coherent in all platforms and in all ways how you are present online. So I would say that is like the main learning, and of course that has been proving of that proves that it helps us as an organization.
Yes, yes, thank you. I totally agree with everything that you said. And my next question is it's a little bit long, and you already answered a little bit, but I will just ask again some of the questions. And if you could give us a lot of detail about your organization and its structure, namely the country where it's established, its type of structure slash legal status. For example, is it a cooperative, a social enterprise support organization? If you know the number of employees, the revenue per year, the year it was established. This is a lot, I'm sorry. And I can also ask again more slowly. And
Yes, maybe one
yes,
by
okay,
one.
let's start with the country where it's established.
So our organization has been established and is working in Latvia.
Mhm,
Its legal form is NGO. In Latvian, it's
mhm,
called biedrība. So,
mhm.
yeah, non-governmental organization, non-profit organization. It can be translated in both. And we have right now, like we have 6 employees, but 4 of them are full-time
Okay.
employees.
Okay. Okay. And do you have an idea of the revenue per year, approximately? Approximately.
Well, I don't have data for 2024 yet, but for 2023, if I'm not mistaken, it could be close to 200,000 euros.
Mhm. And the year it was established?
It was established in 2015.
2016. Good. And what is its level of geographical intervention? Is it more at the local level, national level, international level?
So mainly we focus on the national level, but of course our activities are very present also internationally because of our
Yeah.
international projects, cooperations, and being present in different levels. Yeah, but mainly it's national level.
But then you obviously have these wonderful, wonderful international partners, and
Of course, of
then.
course.
And what are the activities of some of the social enterprises that you support?
So the activities that social entrepreneurs do in Latvia are various and very much across all the spectrum. But if we look on the data of ESAM report, then we
Mhm.
can say that main industries are health, social care, education, and also support to marginalized communities. So I would say that if we look on the legally registered social entrepreneurs, then a lot of them are working as work integration social enterprises, and as the second field is education and healthcare, social care.
Thank you. And what are some of the needs that these organizations are facing, and what do you think you could support them with?
Yes, so the main needs, if you look on the ESAM data, are I need to open it up in the background.
No, please take your time. Thank you.
If I can mention it everywhere, so I will do.
How dare you don't know by heart all the.
Yeah, but actually, like if we look on the needs, then I think mostly it could be finance when the enterprise is started. The second one, I think, was about financing your organization in the long term. But of course, in a previous ESAM report, we also saw that one of the crucial need is qualified workforce. That is a growing issue, and of course, it makes troubling things for the social entrepreneurs themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. And now regarding digitalization, we're defining digitalization as the integration of digital tools into business or structures in order to make them more efficient. And for example, this could go from CRM systems, office, social media, online platforms. Do you agree with this definition and examples?
Yes, yes, sure. I mean, that's how we interpret the digitalization part as well.
Perfect, perfect. And so this next question is also a little bit complicated, and it's perfectly fine if you don't know the answer. But within the social enterprises and social entrepreneurs that you support, do you know what are some of the digital tools that they use for different processes? For example, marketing, operations, HR, things like that. And if you don't know, of course, that's perfectly fine.
Um, yes, I would say that like overall, if we talk about digitalization of Latvian social entrepreneurs, I would say that like overall about enterprise in Latvia, that mostly they are quite digitalized because
Mhm.
in Latvia, the national context is that overall we are very much digitalized. Like for example, every single enterprise would use a signature or digital signature that they use in their everyday life, or like everybody has the internet bank and banking systems and things like that. But also, since this year, actually, it is also an obligation, for example, to do the invoices digitally. So to have the digital invoices with the governmental institutions, and after in the next year, it will be also about like every invoice will need to be in a digital form. And so basically, mostly also social entrepreneurs are using all of those functionalities of like everyday life, but also in for example payments, like for example POS terminals for the banking systems where you can pay by card, because most payments in Latvia are done by card or digitally or through phone. So every enterprise, like a store, has a terminal and things like that. So they need to be very digitalized for that. Or also every enterprise, it's an obligation for the enterprise to have the e-address. So basically the like official email system that is also with the official communication with the government, but not only. And it's not like, the Gmail account, but the specific e address that you need to have. So overall, I would say that we as a country are very much digitalized. So very, very much you cannot survive without being very digitalized. Of course, that also is a bit troubling and makes some issues. Like for example, for elderly or for people that can't do all of those things online. So that's of course one of the challenges that we see and that we face. But overall, those systems work, and also like the tools are very much used across all of the sectors. Like probably even like older age leader of a social enterprise would have been using like Canva tool for making designs, or for example ChatGTP to increase their marketing visibility, and other tools. So basically, overall, I would say they are digitalized. They know about those tools, and they are actually using them on everyday basis. So of course, they need some help in understanding what are the best ways of doing that,
Mhm.
or using the tools. But overall, they know about their existence, use them, and also see it as part of their business.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, I have in my head this idea that overall the Baltics are quite digitalized countries, right? And
Yes,
that's the
yes.
stereotype that I have in my head. And I
That's
think
good.
I know,
Good image.
and I think I know the answer also to my next question. But do you collect and analyze your data? And if so, what type of data do you collect, and what is its purpose?
Yes, in our case, we as association, of course, we look into the data of our members. Like, for example, we also have contracts with some companies that, for example, send us their income data or like overview of the revenues of our members. So that's one part of the data. The other company, for example, sends us data about media mentions. So, for example, every single day we have the media monitoring coming in. I would consider that data as well. And actually, like every single day, there is some news about social entrepreneurs. So that's cool. But overall, of course, collecting the data, it's a bit an issue because like we also don't want to trouble our members, and that's why we are trying to use the external services that already collect the data without the involvement of,
Mhm.
of the companies themselves. Because, yeah, like once in 2 years, for example, we do the ESAM report, but at the same time, like we know, and I personally know as well that, for example, the surveys are troubling and not always like showcase the real data, and that's why we don't want to send too much surveys out to
Yes.
our members, not to overburden them. But overall, about collecting the data, of course, it is important. But of course, like yeah, usually we collect data, for example, about people who come to our events. So that's about like personal data about their like, but it's more to just to use for the event purposes or to use. If they allow to send more news. Of course, we are sending also the newsletter, so that's also data. So we have more than, I think it was around 700, like from 500 to 700 respondents to our newsletter. So of course we also have like 140 plus members. So we have all of the databases regarding our members. So it's a lot of data that that we have and that we process.
And do you know if what's the, this is also once again one of those questions that if you don't know the answer, that is perfectly fine. But do you know what is your annual budget for hardware and for software?
That's a good question. Like for hardware, well, since 2015, maybe we have bought two computers, which have been like around 560 per year for the hardware. Just today we bought a new computer, so I think that's it for the hardware. We don't really use that much hardware. As for the software, it could be like 100 for Zoom subscription, 30 for Miro subscription. Um, so I would say it could be around 500 euros max for the software subscriptions. We actually have the Gmail account that we pay for. It could be like up to 1,000 euros, I would say, for statistics, for the software subscriptions that we use.
Good, thank you. And do you have an IT department? And if
Yeah,
not, how much time approximately do your employees spend with IT related matters?
monthly or annually?
Annually.
Annually.
Let's say
Like
percentage wise.
yeah, yeah, good question. Because like it's a hard to
It
answer
is, it
question
is.
because like
Yeah.
for example, mostly it is done by our project coordinator who is, for example, every month we do accountancy online. Is it
Mhm.
considered an IT related thing or not? Because it's an IT
Uh,
system that we use. So I don't, it's hard
yes,
to
I
say.
agree. I agree. I agree.
Because
I
the
would
second
say
thing, of
so.
course, yeah, because of course, like what she's doing every month, it takes like 1 day to do the accountancy in the IT system and probably 1 day to update our website. And then the question is whether we consider social media updates also IT related thing or not. So it could be like 3 days, at least a month, and we can multiply it by 12. So
Yeah, quite a high
36
percentage.
days.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how much percentage is that.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
probably.
And do you use AI and what do you use AI for if you do?
Yeah, we do use AI. Usually it's a chatbot, like a ChatGPT, not a
Mhm.
chatbot. We use ChatGPT mostly for our social media posts, for improving long texts or summarizing them, or also looking up opinions or new ideas, like for example for events or how can we name the events. So for more marketing, organizing, and content related things.
Thank you. And now some questions about the organizations that you support. And it's perfectly fine if you don't have this information, but I'm still going to ask you just in case you do. Do you know if the digital tools that organizations that you support have are meeting their needs? And if not, why?
Probably yes. Probably it's like mostly it's meeting the needs, and if not, they can use something else. Because also in Latvia right now we have quite good financing mechanisms for digitalization. So there are like from the how it's called, the recovery fund. We have two big investments about digitalization. So actually, enterprises can get the support for getting more digitalized, and that's why there's a very good way on kind of getting the tools that you need to be more digitalized. And basically mostly it's like based on the needs, because it starts with the recognition of the needs, so testing of your digital presence right now and looking there on your needs and understanding what digital tools you need. And then I think it was up to 10,000 euros that you can get as a grant. Any enterprise can do it, and it's very popular, and it's very used for many enterprises. And now there will be another investment, which is more based on an approach test before buy. So basically, you can apply for this support to test different tools and understand if it's right for your enterprise. And if it's so, then basically the government through the EU funds are covering the costs of this testing. So basically, overall, we have very good like investments for digitalization, and that's why all of that is to support the needs of the enterprises.
Thank you. And we've arrived at my last question. And if you could have a training course on digitalization, what would the subject be? Could be, for example, how to choose the right tool, how to implement a tool, how to use data, how to use AI, anything that you can think of that would better suit the needs of the organizations you support.
Not sure.
And that's very fair. That's very fair. It's a big question to ask once again.
Yeah, because like to be honest, nobody really has time for that. Just
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
the the workshop, they just need the tool, and they'll understand how to use it. But I would say that probably like more about either usages of AI or the data analytics and how you can implement it in your daily life. Yeah, or something practical, like for example, our members are quite often asking for workshops on how to practically use Canva, or like what are the extra tools that you don't know about Canva. So something that is very like usable and that you can
Mhm.
just like practically implement it right away.
And tools that are obviously very user-friendly, right? That don't
Exactly.
need much time to
And
be
free of charge.
and free of charge, exactly. Smart use of resources.